الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي أحيانا بعد ما أماتنا وإليه النشور. Alhamdulillah, all the praise, all the thanks belongs to Allah, Rabbul Alameen, the Lord of all the world. We praise Him, we glorify Him. He alone deserves our worship. He alone deserves our praise. May the peace and blessing of Allah be upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah Azza wa Jal has guided us. He has given us the best of speech, that is the Quran. The best of slogan, Alhamdulillah, by saying thanks and praise to Allah Azza wa Jal. By saying Alhamdulillah, you never go wrong, brothers and sisters. Because there are a million reasons for us to say Alhamdulillah. Every moment in your life, there is a reason for you to say Alhamdulillah. 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 He alone deserves our worship. All the thanks and praise belongs to Him. For so many reasons, Wallahi al-Azim, brothers and sisters. You might think that you are depressed. You might think that you are in a confused state. You might think that you are oppressed. Wallahi al-Azim, brothers and sisters. If you think, you know that there is one reason at that particular moment for you to say Alhamdulillah. Whatever situation you find yourself, as long as you are still alive, you're breathing, your life is still with you, brothers and sisters, and you still have consciousness, it's sufficient for you to say Alhamdulillah, no matter the test. So we thank Allah Azza wa Jal for making us among the ones that He allows to go to bed last night. And we are among those that He allows to wake up again this morning, go about our normal business. For that alone, brothers and sisters, for that alone, Allah deserves our thanks. Had it not been for His mercy, had it not been for the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, when we went to bed last night, had it not been for His mercy, we must have woke up this morning. It is out of His divine mercy, my brothers and sisters, that we are still alive. Very lucky, very fortunate indeed. We are among the chosen ones. May Allah give us the understanding in order for us to realize the goodness that He has given us. Only to spare our life. Only by sparing our life for a day, just for today. May He give us the deeper understanding in order for us to do that. He has blessed us for just sparing our life for a day. Because one day is sufficient for you and me, my brothers and sisters. One day is sufficient for us to get Allah's Jannah. If we are conscious without one day, just one day. If we direct our affairs for one day, we concentrate in worship for one day, we are sincere in our tawbah for one day, and Allah take our life that day. That day is sufficient for us to get Allah's Jannah. May Allah grant us His Jannah.
Amen.
But brothers and sisters, we take life for granted. We take time for granted. We are complacent for the age, the opportunity Allah has given us. We are complacent, my brothers and sisters. In our subconscious mind, we think that we have long life, we're still going to live. We are not taking example from those who have passed away. We are not reflecting, my brothers and sisters. So because we have failed to reflect, we will fail to realize the blessings that Allah has given us by sparing our life for one day. So I want to stop to one day. Because what is life? What is man? Man is one day, one moment. One day, one moment. If that life is gone, if that life is taken, your name is forgotten. So who is man? Man is just one day. Less than a day. So I want us to realize the essence of time. For us to take advantage of the time that Allah has given us. Let us have critical thinking, my brothers. Let us think deeply. In today's khutbah, I want us to think deeply on the opportunity we've got. And now we're wasting that time. That precious thing called time. How we engaging in activities that are not beneficial for us in this world and the hereafter. How unwise we are in utilizing time, spare time, the well-being. The most scarce resource, my brothers and sisters, is time. But subhanallah, we are misusing time, brothers and sisters. And Allah will ask us about nothing except time. Your time in this world, how did you spend your time? That is all what the question is about. How did you spend the time? Yes, Allah is not going to give us equal time. We are not going to get equal time. But each and every one of us have sufficient time. But each and every one of us, we have sufficient time to be questioned by the Maker himself, Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is what I want us to contemplate on today. Let us reflect on the time that Allah has given us in this world. Check your age. Critically analyze your past. What have you done in your 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years in this world? What have you done for the sake of Allah? What have you done for yourself? First to start with. Reflect on that. How prepared are you? For the unavoidable. For the inevitable. How ready are you for the thing that brings separation between you and your family? How organized are we? How focused are we in arranging for death, which is time? It's important, my brothers and sisters, that we realize that Allah will ask us about nothing except time. From this age to that age, from your age of maturity to your age of death. In between that period is what Allah will question us about. Now imagine, brothers and sisters, you are 40, 50 years of age. There's nothing you can pinpoint within yourself that you've done purely for the sake of Allah. Everything we've been doing is for our materialistic achievement. The dunya. You've got your masters, you've got your PhD, you've launched your job, then you got your build your houses, you got a family, but all those processes, majority of us, we lack the principles of Allah in acquiring all those things. The presence of Allah wasn't there. We had no care in how we acquire our knowledge, our money. But alhamdulillah, you are yet alive. That's the beauty of Islam. And then you have the opportunity to now correct your mistakes. Maybe you have only one day. If you realize that one day today, and you go back sincerely to Allah to rectify your mistakes, sincerely repent to Allah, start doing good actions purely for the sake of Allah, with ikhlas, with sincerity, and Allah take your life that day, it is sufficient for you to enter Allah's Jannah. May Allah give us that opportunity. Amen. This is the beauty of Islam. This is the extent of the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. When you repent sincerely, Allah erases, Allah effaces, Allah gets rid of all your evil, all your sins. This is what repentance brings to you. But the sin that Allah will efface are the sins between yourself and your Creator, Allah Azza wa Jal. The other sin that is between yourself and the Creator and the creation of Allah, then there are conditions. We'll have to go back to those brothers and sisters that we've offended and ask them for forgiveness. And the other remedy, if you cannot meet your brother or sister, maybe you don't know them anymore, the next remedy is to do a lot of good works, brothers and sisters. A lot of righteous deeds. So as Muslims, it is important, my brothers and sisters, that we know that we are in the twilight, the dying minute. We are in injury time. What time are we on? We are in injury time. We are in the last time of our life. Everyone should think that way. Because we have no guarantee that we'll sleep, wake for another week. So for a believer, every day is your last day. For a believer, every day you should think that every day is your last day. Every walk to, every salah is your last salah. Prepare your mind for that. Encourage yourself for that. So you make every salah the best of your salah. Every salah. Every opportunity you have to do good actions. You do good actions. Maybe that will be your last action. And be worried when you're in a state of committing sin, for your time not to finish in that action. Be worried. Don't encourage yourself to involve in evil action, because that may be your last action, and then death strikes you. So this should be the frame of mind. This should be our frame of mind, my brothers and sisters. This should be the opportunity as to how we engage and guide ourselves. When you want to involve in anything evil, think, if I do this, if I'm in this state of disbelief, if I'm in this state of committing sin, and Allah takes my life, and Malcolm visits me, what will I say to my Creator? So this should be our thinking, brothers and sisters. It should not be the other way around. Sometimes we encourage ourselves to commit sin. Oh, inna Allah ghafurur rahim. Oh yes, Allah is a constant forgiver of sins. When we are dwelling in the action, in the evil action, we are encouraging ourselves to commit sin. If that is your last action, my brothers and sisters, if that is my last action, may Allah save us from that position. Let us think, my brothers and sisters, let us reflect. Visit the hospital. If you are weak, if your mind is so strong to accept Allah, then make it a point of duty to visit the hospital. Soften your heart. Look at brothers and sisters. Look at our dad. There's nobody out there holding the bucket asking fi sabilillah. He came to the masjid on Thursday. He was fasting. After they break their fast, perform Isha, and then he couldn't walk. He couldn't get up for himself anymore. Other brothers has to call ambulance for him. That is been hospitalized. It's in Lewisham Hospital. This is a clear example for our brothers and sisters. This is one of us. It's not a stranger, it's one of us. It's one of us. If that is not enough, then what else will be enough for us? If we cannot learn a lesson from your brother that you pray with in the masjid and is active in the masjid, Allah has tested him. May Allah give him shifa. Amen. But we're supposed to learn from that, brothers and sisters. That let us make hay while the sun shines. Let us take opportunity of our good health. SubhanAllah, I visited the brother. Listen to this. I visited the brother. What did he say to me? He said, my worry is, my brother, I cannot touch water to perform wudu and do my salah. This is my worry. On the sick bed. This is what he said to me. And yet still me and you, we are alive, awake, well. We can go to the toilet, perform wudu, and do our salah, and then we are still careless. This is what is bugging the brother's mind. He's there. So this is a time of reflection, brothers and sisters. Let's not don't reflect on death. Let's reflect on the sick now. He is still alive, but he cannot lift his left hand and his right foot. He cannot. And the test does not stop with him. His sister as well. She's going through difficult times as well. But we ask Allah to make it easy for them. And each and every one of us who are going through difficulties in our life, may Allah make it easy for us. Amen. But the most important thing, my brothers and sisters, is the consciousness that we learn, that we get in these things that happen in our community, happens in our family. Let us be grateful to Allah. Let us not be among those where Allah says, Innal insana li rabbihi lakanud. As Allah said, for sure, mankind are ungrateful to their Lord. And that we justify our ungratefulness through our actions. Ungratefulness has become part and parcel of our daily character. Ungratefulness to Allah, ungratefulness to our fellow human being. But what brings ungratefulness is excessive selfishness, greed. That's what brings ungratefulness. You always think about yourself. Acquire one thing is not enough. You want to acquire another one, so you lose this focus on what you've achieved in order to achieve more. So you cannot even stand for a while and say, you know what? I've earned that yesterday. Alhamdulillah. I was struggling to get a job. Yesterday, I had no job. Someone helped me. I've now got a job that I'll be earning £8 an hour. Alhamdulillah. Say thanks to that brother that assisted you. But you're so eager. You're so chasing the world that you're looking for a £15 an hour job. So you even forgotten that last year you're looking for a job. You had no job. To the point you even forgot the person that helped you to get the job. So this is the same attitude we're doing to Allah Azza wa Jal. You're with nothing yesterday, Allah has blessed you with something. Instead of you thank Allah for that, be grateful to Allah, you are complaining. We are complaining. We are a generation of complain. We keep on complaining, brothers and sisters. Complain, complain, complain. Why? Because of al-hakum takathur. Mutual rivalry seeking worldly possession. Because we are competing with one another. Not in ibadah, but in acquiring materialism of this dunya. Because we've placed importance in materialism than God consciousness. We respect one another as to the houses that we bought, the cars that we drive. We don't respect one another because of the deen, because of the knowledge. So this is the problem today, brothers and sisters. We disrespect the scholars and we respect the rich. When there's an argument, when there's a decision to be made, when the scholar talk, we take it less, it's not important. But when the rich man talk, oh come on, we honor them, we respect them. Subhanallah. This is the state that we are today. When some scholars, they are now shy to talk where the rich people are. They only say what they want to say, what they want to hear. May Allah guide and protect us from this state. Amen. But this is because of our greed. Because the focus has been taken away from the reality. The focus has been taken away from the purpose of creation. The purpose has been taken away. The focus has been taken away. It is our place on materialism, the dunya. And Allah speaking the truth. Al-hakum takathur. Mutual rivalry is seeking worldly possession will surely divert you from God. This is a statement, Sahih, clear, fact. And it is in action, we are saying it. We'll be in that fight. We'll be in that eagerness. We'll be in that state until death visits us. And that's what we are saying, my brothers and sisters. That's what we are saying. People ignore their salah because they have a business meeting and they die in the meeting. People ignore their salah because they have something to earn money and then death visit them in that action. Subhanallah. You're chasing just a little. Allah has blessed you with some money. But you're chasing more. Just a little bit to add into that. Just a little bit to add into that. And you fail to realize and thank Allah for what He has given you. So we are in the state today where we fail to celebrate what we achieve, and we are scared and confused about what we haven't achieved. Our focus is all in what we want to achieve. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ لَعَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. If Allah bless you with a little bit of goodness and you thank Him, Allah will increase for you. But if you're unthankful, but if you're ungrateful, Allah is severe in His punishment. And a sign of ungratefulness, one of the signs of ungratefulness is when you've achieved something which you've been yearning for, making dua for, you have done tahajjud, and Allah has granted you, you fail to tell Allah thanks, you fail to show gratitude to Allah, and you're still asking for more. And when someone of a lesser position comes to you, asks you of something lesser, you cannot afford to separate with those riches. That's your own test, brothers and sisters. And Allah will surely ask us about our time. The time we spent in this world, the way we acquire our money, and the way we spend this money. For sure, Allah will ask you about your time. Allah will not ask Ibrahim about the time of Khadijah. Allah will ask Ibrahim about the time Ibrahim spent in this world. Allah will ask Amina about the time she spent in this world. So everything is about your time. It's a choice. You can choose to spend your time meaningfully. Prioritize your time. Spend quality time with your family. Spend quality time in acquiring the knowledge of Allah. Spend quality time in supporting the community, or you decide to waste your time in idleness. That's down to you, it's your choice. But just be one thing in your mind, that Allah will not ask you for anything other than your time. I ask for forgiveness for myself and myself. Allah is the most forgiving God. Inna Allah ghafurur rahim. Alhamdulillah, hamdan kathiran tayyiban barakan fih. We thank Allah Azza wa Jal for giving us the time, for sparing our life. Give us another opportunity to reflect on our actions, to make amends in our lives, to make corrections, necessary corrections in our life before death visits us, before death strikes us. Because for sure, death is coming. For sure, death is coming, brothers and sisters. So people, when you mention death, they say, astaghfirullah. There is nothing astaghfirullah in death. There is nothing astaghfirullah in death. It will come when it will come. So don't fear death, but prepare for death, because you know it's coming. A student that is going to school should not fear examination, because you know examination is coming. So all you need to do is to prepare for the exam. So all of us know death is coming. When we don't know, so let us prepare for the exam of death. When we want to travel, my brothers and sisters, if we want to travel, maybe in April or in December, we prepare for that traveling. We try to check our ticket. If this is a place that we've never been, we go to the internet, we surf to know what's happening there, the community, what is happening there, what's the weather like. We check everything. So the type of gear that we should put forward. But we're not doing that when it comes to the grave. We're not thinking. We always go and visit. We always go and bury brothers and sisters. And we see exactly what's happening with all their mansions, with all their cars. We don't even get them in their cars. With all their powerful suits, we don't even put those suits on to bury them. We put them in the bare floor, bare ground. With just one piece satin, cloth. With their restaurants, their watches, their whatever, you can call them brother. There's no glimpse of them. And we still don't land. And you see we come from that burial, and then we are fighting one another for wealth, for riches. We are cheating in acquiring those stuff just from a burial. So it means we are not reflective, my brothers and sisters. So this is what I want us to concentrate on. Reflection. Self-reflection. Forget the crowd. Individually reflect on your life and how prepared are you for the day of death. Have you thought?